Welcome back. The news in full. We start off with presidential activity. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi stressed on the importance of strategic ties between Egypt and the United States. The president was speaking during a meeting with a visiting U.S. business delegation headed by David Thorne, the senior advisor for economic affairs to the Secretary of State. Sisi expressed support for boosting cooperation and coordinating with the coming American administration over issues of mutual concern. U.S. delegation included the representatives of 50 giant U.S. companies in various fields, was attended by the Ministers of Foreign Affairs, Communication, Petroleum, Trade and Industry, Finance and Investment. Presidential spokesman Ambassador Ala Yusuf said that President el-Sisi referred to positive encounters held in New York last month with the U.S. business representatives and that opened the way for new investment projects. He said that the president reviewed national projects being implemented, especially the development of the Suez Canal and efforts to enact economic reforms. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi also discussed the initial agreement signed with the IMF and the plans to attract foreign investments and the importance of increasing the volume of trade exchange with the United States. Ambassador Yusuf said that senior U.S. advisor Thorne stressed on the support for Egypt's economic reform program adopted in the country and the importance of the strategic and trade relations that binds the two countries. To Sharm el-Sheikh, under the auspices of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, a national youth conference kicks off in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh on Tuesday. The three-day conference, entitled Innovate and Go, includes a vision on the participation of the youth in the creation of their future. The conference also tackles a number of issues and challenges and youth perspective to face them. Nearly 3,000 Egyptian youth from the different fields, as well as 300 public figures, are participating in the conference, and we do have our reporters, our correspondents there in both languages, English and French, and they will be updating us from Sharm el-Sheikh about the details as they follow. Minister of Defense and Military Production Sid Isubhi said that the armed forces will always be the milestone and the shield for defending the nation, confronting all the challenges that could threaten the safety and stability of the country. The minister reiterated that the army is ready to exert more efforts and sacrifices and has the potential and capability and courage to achieve all the duties. This came during the minister's meeting with a number of students of military colleagues and institutes through a video conference network. Subhi stressed on the importance of the integration between the armed forces and the community in fighting extremism and terrorism. Meanwhile, the minister hailed developments in the military educational system to produce new generations compatible with the current needs and the technological developments of the nation. The Japanese government has provided and extended the additional soft loan of the construction of the Grand Egyptian Museum up to $460 million US. The exchange notes were signed between the Minister of International Cooperation, Dr. Sahar Nasser, and the Ambassador of Japan to Egypt, Takehiro Kagawa. Nile TV's Dina Hwaidak conducted the following interview with Her Excellency Dr. Sahar Nasser.
Joining me right now, Her Excellency Minister of Cooperation, Dr. Sahar Nasser. Dr. Sahar Nasser, thank you for joining us on Nile TV.
Thanks for being around.
Can you please talk to us about the agreement that you just signed with the Japanese side?
We just signed the agreement for the continuation of this very ambitious Grand Egyptian Museum. This is one of the key pillars that will support tourism in Egypt. This is the second phase of the program. This is a loan that, very concessional loan amounting to an equivalence of $450 million. That's co-financing with the Egyptian government. That Grand Museum, that's not an Egyptian museum, it's an international museum. It will be the biggest across the world. It will document and will keep stock of all the different decades throughout the Egyptian history. This is the history that we're all proud, all our children across the world, across the globe, are focused on this, the Egyptian history. This is forging a strong partnership between the Japanese government and the Egyptian government. It is an outcome of the presidential visit to Tokyo, where one of the key issues that were discussed is this museum. We are now mandated by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to move fast. We are joining forces with the Minister Khaled Anani to accomplish this project at least partially by the end of December 2017, which is much more advanced than what we had already declared and pledged to the Parliament in the government's program. That's an ambitious project that not only Egyptians are proud of, but the whole world is proud of. Are contributing through grants to support this museum. They want to be partners in such a successful story, and the Minister of International Cooperation made sure that we sign the agreement here on site, because it's very important to acknowledge and see the progress that has been made in the project already.
And how will it help the youth future?
I think that how it helps the youth is very obvious. If you just look behind us, you will see that around 4,000 young people are on site. We have 3 shifts here. We're moving on a record time. It's very critical. We want to move fast on the launch of this project. It's creating jobs, and it's also creating jobs at very critical times. It is times when we know there has been a bit of slowdown in the tourism sector, and we wanted to make sure to tap on these human resources, the human capital. And in terms of training and capacity building, the project is not limited to this site. It also entails capacity building. It entails training of youth, because the objective is a sustainable museum, is a museum where the services will continue to be enhanced and improve, and it's also the maintenance of the antiquities and rehabilitation, and these are key priorities, and hence we are making use of the slowdown because we don't want to lose the opportunities. We want to tap on the potentials, and we want to move fast on that.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your time.
And thank you, Dina Huwaidaq, for that exclusive interview with Her Excellency Dr. Sahar Nasser on a very ambitious project taking place on Egyptian soil. The International Parliament Union's General Assembly is set to be launched Monday at the Union's headquarters in Geneva. The event witnesses the participation of Egypt's Parliament Speaker, Dr. Ali Abdel Al, and a high-level parliamentary delegation. 1,000 parliamentarians representing 138 countries are attending those meetings. The Parliament's Local Administration Committee, headed by Ahmed Al-Sigini, resumes discussions over the local administration draft law on Monday. The government representatives from Local Administration and Legal Affairs Department are attending the session. The meeting aims at finalizing the law to hold local elections as soon as possible later this year, or in the start or the beginning of next year. And regionally, Israel's Air Force hit a Hamas post in the Gaza Strip on Monday after what they allegedly said Iraq